As me yen my ye and me nyan nam brekuna me rene so trouble no agene ntem eti se wonim se abaya ma odwumadi ebizodi se kwan na wuye se school dan na wusie se aresabia na se janabia na wusie na ne wode me ma mete odwentwe wona ase a wo age contract ne de afru wonsam na wofofro na ni abre no waba ba yesa se omo abo ho nkwasuponhwe wo panyine de sansam itudwa na se dwumakuo ana se dwumadi ma akoma du miensa projects e no mo poundma e no se project no mo de ma no enye so mo de ma na we contractor bra obobeto yem no no waba wo se me ba site wo mu a no wasesa no ma na de ko ontwem obi ama ye krokro de dwon adanko da enti wode ma wo na wo se sa no ma kuku no kaka na ukoye dwuma se de be am betumi awie ama bibia awie mu de.
Some now is saying na what will go against the contract, we terminate it. Simple. Yeah, no maka. Say Osha engineer, your duration about 4 months, next almost more 2 months. After that, and one to me and sit down or contracts no. You chum, you the money for. If it's scour and your contract or because it's scan you and it's scan team into me, we KG block no. You do your own baby or what I'm doing. Just require for money, raise certificate. Has MC assign and give it to you out. Until you know my dear basic contractor be quiet. You are renew and a union.
Wapanyini no na ate so wakasa se ska wo fie akwara nsu anopa we dey scan abin peche etumu utimi feska e ma me ye schools ana se bia wo dey ba be yi ho ano na waiting na scan waiting no mentimi anya no mentimi anya o se scan ye ga utaga na ma inti scanner ben dia wo kwa ya na kwakwa ye adwuma wo chechiremu enwumadi edumiensa wo mu bedie no ekwan yo mafo benya ho mfaso
ne o kan mako ye ka te sword edu miensa ne di kan ye kokrompe zonal council 1 if you kokrompe zonal council ye ko kwaunsaba chip compound 2 if you kwaunsaba chip compound ba krako number 1 krako number 1 ye cluster of schools by ye katibo munti ye CKG nkano kan 4 primary 5 JHS 6 teachers quarters 7 you know your sign call fodwa your kata another sort 4 zonal council to the no kan ho na 9 no eno achi ye ba trado chip compound ba ko ho ma be kat sort eno so kan ho na 10 and your sign call or say krom your kata sort ensuo mako e 9
and here go tie aban na musinia wana na ehwa aboama bibia timi akoye kwa west abato empesua so ho na opanyini watamimu halidu ne ene kotie no
yankwa wasa manfeast abato empesua no so na ban krasipe ne won patam ho ne nei wade atodwe ekire musa na anu wada wo hwa na temamufo ne twobɔ ye wo mo ba ya wo mo de bato ne nim se wo ba patam wa traffic pa ya friend traffic nyasam kituo ene enkren madina eba sa ka okura mfa no ho ene traffic sa kwantempɔ no etimi boyire soa mekira wasa kropon eho ene etimi boyire so timamufo ene kazi wo bate pin ekwan ya waso de meet be sadia satwa no bom se edonhwere mienu donhwere miensa ansa no akoduru ene etimamufo won patem wode twobɔ ye kɔ abaka chepani nchen akodokoto nanim se aban wode wadawru mo ye na pekwan foforo bi mayo na sese die nukure nie traffic na no odin enem aban kra chepani no wo wasa manfi easy nana Roland Eba ene ne wade atodwa ekire mu se ampade etimamufo kan ye no wano anani kwatwa wi se hwene santem wo hu bi ne senti empanimfo ahyase a wo yi kwan foforo ede ama wo mo se de be ya akwantempon hu nsam ebekoye na empo traffic dodo a echi wo kwa so no eto atimi atwa
as part of President Mama research agenda no we you know na so bana so research my fees and see osha takot kumase highway no ben prive no na achoki pa and ma traffic and my buyer President Mama eboyedin as municipal chief executive amame so me buyer me yamagin ye krumu anmo ana ye mafi east anmo ye hepon I friend prefer okoma setim de koto nanima oyi baby ma me samai asi onomo de yonomo na da tum afa assembly ho na ye wia esanso ayi assembly onomo so ade akwa kopem adesu road entino yetuna bypass fa samai asi ho na beto assembly onomo na fa adesu onomo dia ebe ma traffic so ate amaye to ko ma setim adre pentino o ma me road onoma ama assembly so de machine si so and now me no ka say go so aye road no aye bypass no ato no ma aye timamfo nyina so aye mo de pa
and yeah bra Facebook no YouTube na behwe anu so ade aban crash pen no wo aye wasa amamfi is about trumpers ya no so na wote ne nka no aban crash pen ni kire mu se wono ana ni kwatwa wisi ahwene santam wo hunu se empotam ho traffic no ha adwene too much into wono afa to no ho so wone ne manfo ene assembly no waka bomu a ene akwantempo wo yi bia yi bi tutu fichire se ba ya ene traffic no emompe so no eto betimi atwa na wo wie ne kasa no wo kire mu se no kwasem no to kwadwa no yirimika timamufo wo mpatam ho akire ni so pa sanse wo munyina boa menne ne dwumadi a wodie no etimi akwan so ne nyina mu no enam dodo nsan kwan support no woda so ahia bebre
ye nyamia ne se aye timamfo betimase na menu so motimasin se eka aye o kwanim anas road no eka baby aye unim se ya bind de nkwan dia na mo jam amame ampan so no ayade omo ne meye obi bia so enim se ya ekwan no ye abind de nkwan dia aye street ni abind dia anas yo man de nkwan dia omo jam amame nti support na ewo ho omo de mame ebi obo to support me fuel mutu support me bibia mutu Adom come home amaye adwuma pa me that reto ko ma setim and MP honorable Nicholas Manko so I say so we should support so tamechi amaye to road no any lanes in ayade reto ko ma setim ordinary adim kase anu ti ye be se obi bia ana se be ka cho bia se wa wo Ghana bia na se be
Raymond Nana Eba aban crash pen ma de she wo wasa manfi east nene na wuti yi
Adom 06.3 and Yan Masafa 94.7 Isha 104.5 Super Weekend News Nicket and why you go so I can Edema one year quenima was off for her woman so one some saw opinion Harry Drusu Nana opinion Wako Pimo Bank for you Mediase National Banking and Ethics Conference I bass one crackpomu Wapani Copiemo and not just said the toss you no crown and what in a Nimunyam cottage na and central 1 minute to swap building future ready banks ethical leadership sustainable finance, currency stability, amidst disruptions. And only brofo wa made to swa, and our penny could not simply a password or Corema be to be conkind. Number of workers and was a foot water, my ASA, Sabukituma, Nina and say wood to a mofo. So Mudu Medio Mudi and Nina Gideon, so I said, trust some no was say. Say Gideon will be to me so ready anyway, say Gideon more. Why a bank ni, worry by Repusama, and Yadia between Sogana this year ni, and Kankasabia will be in the scabbard to a diabetes, but Rabasa. Next kada accounts miske ni taban na timia tu anasa timia mem eni ayra do ba hwana na ayra na enu wo sei jagre boaze de enu wo kohwe mu awam sika bi na ko no ano kwame ahwe wa he enu wasa akwatini sika chese we nipa kro ya za rutim so wadane obofu a woni maboa ya afo a chese wo panya yi jagre boaze brabo bre pa minim se ne zakura ka sa no ma we no panyi na kasa tia se enso ani wo mo manfo nyi wo munni sa de be obi tabiri ni sika wo de ba beto bank a enya afi no badwe hu mienu miensa ansa no de aba.
Ethical banking, an imperative and a must for you, not an option. So you don't have an option to be unethical. The bedrock of banking is trust. And therefore, you have a responsibility to uphold trust. Don't ask me for the reasons. You are holding public money. Simple reason is the reason why we should trust you to keep the public purse. You are holding private sector money. So ethical banking is at the trust. Then two, fairness and non-discrimination and probably confidentiality and data privacy. Building future-ready banks.
Any equity your software one and a woman so one sense of woman Haruna Drusu and was when we are basre. A boy you to said I got to focus here, you could be by re. Nase Koreas and I was so quiet. I Sikana there into bet me when you move bet me at feelings. When we Sikadia, a bay de nemo. So those Kobo Mania de Wabokrono. Et you are going to say, and Noma would be a more month for you when you be on but your more dear friend and in Ramonon. Chartered Institute of Bankers, Panyimpa one and na da wo ma no ye friend Benjamin Amenume wo panyini gina sipie ni apaso enso kire mu se wo ba hwe akwanuasa nyina da so so obetoto no ma ye no manfo age wo ma de.
That we need to develop more chartered bankers. Think about it this way: if you go to the hospital and you have someone who has a certain qualification but is not trained as a doctor, doesn't subscribe to a code of conduct, most importantly, doesn't even update his knowledge, which of those doctors would you see? And for us at Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, we are not just developing ethical and trusted bankers, we're also developing people who are competent in the business of banking. And most importantly, they also get regulated so that in the event that they undertake anything untoward or do anything untoward, the institute is then able to sanction and apply. So I'm talking about character development, competence development, and then also conduct and consequence as well. Those are 4 key, if you like, C's that we must all pay attention to ensure the financial system remains stable and sustainable.
Wapanyina ekwoti enini wano ena Chartered Institute of Bankers. Waya panyimpa wada womano Benjamin Amenume.
We a super weekend kasiebo Adom 106.3 asempana 4.7. Wo asanteman temso de ni enhira 104.5 endem wo ho affiliate no wo hane aduonu mieso mamuni amono ne yegusu ye kenkan kasiebo no ediama na yakwansan fufuro mu a achim wanchi hima wono a na saye ose awuo hima ema achim ebuakwa na matran kunya nana apia krama eye amachiwa otosumyinu nana kasa no wachiremu se na se wo ba Ghana pa ema ne niema wo ye wo kurom hanya asem ketwa sabi mpraduasa ebinta dichem enyenyenyenyenyenye ubehu akoda edum yensa dunan enu afafuro edunsia dunwotwe wa wozai yes wa wutu na na kiremsa kanetis na nyasa kane no ansa na ba kura bebu ne nsa wonya mfinhie dunwotwe no nananom to wo mbo aseguro no bra ene braguro kama na fei ya di adanu adi am obi ehun sa fe di ababa wa ababa wa bi ababa wa si wo manyina aduru wo mpani mfie se de ekwan ni mu abie wa wo pebra befa na so wo kofa wo fa mamere ne amane ekwan so na nsentem de ansa na wo ba ata na kura wunhu no no ne be ma na wo be setre na wo kura wunim ne nanana ekire mo se sasu ne ban no ebetimi atwa agise na anu ada braguro na nananum de yesa kofa bo na kire mo se yesa kofa ba pa ni mu nimu yamprempren ya empriwanyinsan ahodo a ekoso wo mamu etuo betwa emaba wasabi mpraduasa wontumi nsiesie wo huye ni nyina tuo betwa de semu nyina tujo wabra achema buako na namatena nkunya na wonya ehima foforo kora wode ni sia kunya so na nana enya kwanya ensemi wode tuja
satam no bragro hono no oba sa ubunsa anye so be mebie hu ana ankosa na wontumi ko be mebie wonte se wobunsa na de akire o ma no na mrantie wom wom so aduro mpempenso no so hu maba no ma abeyi de obi a ne de mu afrim enti mofra no tumi chance atwen se omo mrebe so obi ba be fa wom ne de enti sa enti se no ka babie mu a ankaye tumpa se ka babie mu a ankaye beboa o ma no bragro de boy ma no tumi chance twen mema no so tumi chance twen ma no enti se babie mu de ankaye amamre no ka Ghana so be fa ntuma pa bi efra se ne ma no chinchin kofa yarboni mema so kofa yarboni bia o mpempeso
nipa ya tirin kan osia wuo hima ema achim ebuakuna na matena nkunya na apia krama amachewa a otosumyenu na de ne kasa ba wei na ye de hima foforo asiso ewo eye kede enonya akunya odin nsem wei nyina atuwa na owie ye wo hene a wo achim takoro wase osabare ma owusu nkati otosumyensa na so kasai na nsem wadi tuwa no ntie no wei
ahine ya dia ikuduye oyo wana motuyi okasa yi wa produye yi ba uponi ni die ba ni pabi prega na udiso mu duma wa be oni sebe enyansa fobisia sebe oni ejimi fobisia obesa ni opia na dwinya duma so fobisia opia baba wa kwambia no dina wa wa tu abaya amansa nyina abia enye yi mu ana fa owura hye busua mu fa owura hwe maame ana unuamu ma wani na uma foso ma uma fonte one omusu frawa di omuso enne ya ya pejawi kademai emema emma enyina abeye wo ena entimani na okuma so se polisi ade enyina abeye
Achem takurase hene osabarima owusu nkati otosom yensa ne na wuti.
Adom 06.3 we naked kasiebo super weekend news ye ne nuanama sempa 94.7 insha 104.5 asanteman agiatomu yegusu ayabe adema woni yakoya nimu a ne ye de chirem ewo do na wo pe wo manga na enkran kropomu baabi enso to a erifo o manfo pa wo do na ka ho cycle wo do na wo be ka ya ho na dwuntre enso to ye kwa irifa nkrofo a wo bi nim de kwate bayra huma mu amana makese eja ko fam ye nka busuafo ya wade hye babro ha eto ananano mo nse do hye dwurbe a chese wo hwe na yi wani anyi na ene yi akwa wo sese ne no ma esi kwa sase nkra kropo mu page for the dwumadie bia ba ye for the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Garret dia baba ye ne se bonka drobe e bia enso to a na afei abo apeso se ya apes na twifo manfo so no ye ba bebiem na afei so to atinya fam yo akọ te sade nyankrompo de ne mafa apokokomu ekoye no na ene ye sentro ni prince osu asi edu wodo mosco piemu ho a se na garret na ho fa so ne bi nyanduro manfo wo do na so na ka kum ye gyen kokko nu prince wo no manfo nkomo ni nyina da wabo ne poa ediba
Oba enkramantem mua enkrobeti se ni mane lajo Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development etwaniti ase Garret jumedi eden sakraye papa ensoni anase bonchibonka wodo ena sese woye watete ensuo enso ekwan enhye pa wode abanso ama baabi ananka ensuo to kakra bia na ayire no sese obibetimi atena ho no mu abra onsura chirikura we eka Garret trimu pokasie so befa adansie ene jumadi yahodo so abo manfo ene nyapade eho ban enipa besempemi ensa ena afi ensuo kasia etoye no tu wo mu firi won fie sa ensuo yi ese wo manfo fie ayaresabia ene wonwuma merekloti die ensuiri ebeye na semhia ebra ne bayarehye sabre no wanyo bia manamwa no ekwan nyina jiri ofa apomodi ho yehia ene kwan yo befa so atenase emu
nsuo to ade ha ye pa fisi nsuo ato da mpese me fa me ba ne mpia mantume ne mpia fisi me akasa na me yetia me pie na nsuo ne da me ha ti loke so obi na ebeboa me mantume amfa na nkwa na me kogina abanstro so na nsuo no twi yesa akopema ahomache oh yantumi amfa na nko hospital ade chinye nem se ye twen ye asetina modie akwala ya resisi a untumi fisensu ato agota ni so abaneti ebiso wa ha se de efie no mutia se onfa akwala ne mpe bebi pa no ne ne tinantente ubia no akofa wa de no de na akọ
aflade nko o tumi kunipa o etumi kunipa kra ya dafo ba ko no onu so wo inside nsi oni to o pia o nsi oni fa na otogote no ma wewu
o nanse aye nipa bi ye frɛ no America na ono oti odo na hanumu obia enim no cap price obia di o adaraka obia enim no ye frɛ no America ne ne ha ne kakra flood ba hanumu ye gota ba ko eda kitua ebi okọ ena otomu ena okọ hye ewa hanumu enu crap aye very sad amaye ewa hanumu nti kasa ne crap mi to me kan flood ni de odo na hanumu prianumu ekopim se haye pa na ye hu baby pota sa flood no eye free
asensuo ni jaya na de show enaba ya won mu etete kiosk mu no edura na jo na yesa phone
na ewia no bossa na sometimes no e bon say ewia no sometimes to create heat e so no ma create heat but say create heat sana ya no osho no anu tini especially no mo de da stores be no ma ya de windows ade ato te ban sana sometimes no it we pay e try bontin kakra for the meantime e be on say both times so na egu so kakra de to akoda omo mo so mo dem so no omo tumi e pay e be tent as be say mosquito net e wo mo fi ni mi hono mo no mada because so ban so e de ntuntum na eba na ntuntum ban so de ale na eba te ban san so a e ma rashes especially omo mo so no akasi phone mu no e ma rashes etumi e be go omo sometimes most is so ba e de ale eble
Shishimwa University of Ghana for ye chirese brono biti se odona brano na ha wo mo apomuden pa Shishimunu dan wodi se edura na joa odona ayaresabea awodo ehyew na no den ekosoro bese nsia anadwo eche omamu ni nyina ade omanfo bi abo homoden se anko betimi di mfidie bi asosa wo haw no ano ebikura etete bonchebonka awodo mu nanso wapemu a de obeye bia enye yi
enso yiri no nso yes affect health facilities no ana se ayaresabea ewo bantemu aye nhwehwemu no flood no ebi ho no ma hospital no baby a isi nankasa no kwa isi inso ne kwan no so enti sa hospitals ne de inso ne ba affect omo pa etimi wura omo hospital ho na ira ho sa no nso a etimi say omo hospital ne nema ebi on ma generator ne nema wo from no ne nyina etimi jiri ana say hospital no nso yi sa na sene na meka edikan ne say timamufo no cholera ne malaria no eta dose samre no hospital nso e bejo no nso na eho ejire nti ebasa na timamufo no nso bre because ebon mo munya ekwan enko hospital so mo ko pe ayaresabia no
ewiemu sakrayen so da bia da ekonanim ye kire se sa garage project aban dia bayi se woye meye yi a ede sunsun ye ebeto atore nchem ene kurobia mudie emu sama ne boye eni CDKN any University of Ghana C3SS and Akabumwa Claire R41 Opportunities Fund Edisika Asoyasene
Jim FM ti na chese we no tikumi o hese de tie no asa na ye na enya honko a sesei ewiemu nsa kyereye no abasa no sesei Ghana babia wobi esu wobi etwa jadwo kankan kuafo na wokọ Northern Regional abeto dwase se nipa dodo no tufiri ho nipa dodo no a wamu tufiri ho ebi de wamu ni akyerem wonkran ha ebi so kokoma sesan se ebra wose awia bɔ no sesei awia no emo enso twa na etonti no wonno ba ye sentin kankan ma ewomu bra na bibra ne senti wafo ho adwena dodo no a ekuma sene nkran ena ofiri ba na de akofa ba emu nkomodie adom kase yakuru kyire gu ahoma so yentie no nso
Wamanga na mu ewiemobere ade baako a epam manfo titire ene mma kuafo efrimen tifidomantem bepie anafo a enya semketua wonom efri wonkurase ewosire mantem mu eba kura kese mu tise nkran ne kumase a wode ho behye bodwabodwa adwuma mu tise kaye yemu a enya semketua omu se tukotena omutu eba anafo hanom sei no ade a eden ma woyie pa nanso tede bia wohwe asetena owomuo na wohwe se de esa ewiemabobere ntikua adwuma enkoso a na ese wogya abusua ewotire no babebre epe bibi na ode akofie akwakohwe wonom ekire mu a sika kakra wonom nya no ena wonom edi kofie amabusua a wonom akakire so edi ehwefie ewo kwan a na ekomo a edi wonom wo ho no wonom atumi edi asoso ano
befre walwal se mi wa hankwa edi me busuafo pepe a gise me ma omo sama mama omo ahwan na bekọ akoma omo nti me ye adwuma na omo pa bibia metumi me wo bi nkwa ade mema me ne bi kura me force anya bi ama omo me busia nkwa na wo me ba na
me se minye adwuma me se this kama me mama no asham
me free wala ha se ye bre no ba ye krom de ye mbre sa ye mbre so ye nyesika wo ho no anso bre obenya bi so ne de nto wo ho no nti eme aduane na ntima ye bebre se de ya no ntima ye se ne mo te se me ba no sa no hu fa na o mbeka kire na mama o musika ene me nwia ne mu
eno da nkyene a yesa na o mo twetwe nkomo ebisai sɛde adwumadi a wonum edi na nafo ha no esikro wonum ekire a omo abrabo no enya ade a etumi fa no ntuma pefra da empo sɛ obepiem wɔ ha no efiri sɛ obepiem ɛwɔ kuro kɛse mu nso a ɛno nko a ɛho haw ɛwɔ hɔ no mu a sika ɛsɛ sɛ wonum nya no nso ɛnyɛ no ɛna wɔn ensaka wonum bɛsoa nneɛma dududu yi nyinaa nanso obewie no na sika fia bi ɛna wonum nya ɛno ɛmo akora
ai me ba ben anya nof na me nyama ha na me market nye
ayo no sese aye nanti aye nya adwuma egusi sresre ya manfo se omo fa ya adwuma bebre so omo mpene fa ya enti yesre nyankopɔ se yenye sika na yenko
adwuma na enye na se adwuma ne enhye da ambasa
Dr. Shelter Gache ena wada Sage Initiative ano ena wɔkyerɛ sɛ free mfimpi mienu emu ba ne de na nka tukɔtena dodo a free esiri mantem mu eba anafo ha sei no dodo no ayɛ mema nanso esan sɛ enuama sesenti sei ɛmɛ nyina free afimpi mienu ne du ba ne de wɔde wɔn ho ahyɛ mu bia wɔnom nso ɛba ne dodo mu a wɔnom ɛba bɛyɛ kaya yi bia enya asɛm ketewa.
In Ghana, the northern region, they are located in a dry harsh zone. So when they have prolonged droughts, when they have unpredictable rainfall distribution, it affects their agricultural productivity, which in turn affects their livelihood because they're dependent on this agricultural productivity. So in turn, some of them have to find ways to supplement their household income. And some of them adopt certain strategies. But most in recent years, migration has become quite popular. So some of them have some household members move down south. When they move down south, some of them, the most popular, work they do is what is known as karaye. So when they come, they get some money and they send it back home. And that's known as remittances. The household then can use the money to supplement their income. So remember that the agricultural productivity has been affected because of the negative effects of climate change. In fact, the studies prove it. The households that receive remittances are much more likely to build climate resilience as compared to households that do not receive remittances.
But it took what enya de pa fi se wo tu afiri ukrum aba ba bia trebi kura wo ma hoda no ya na enya asem ketoa nanso kwan ba ko a wonom efa so edi dwane ewiem abobere nsa kira ya eto won so wure e wosire mantem mu a enya asem ketoa.
For migration to be promoted as an adaptation tool, the government needs to acknowledge it as an adaptation tool. When you look at the National Adaptation Plan, it's not explicitly stated that migration is an adaptation. So we need migration to be accepted as an adaptation tool or acknowledged as an adaptation tool. Hereby, we can have structures put in place that can govern migration. That right now, when remittances are sent home, in as much as it helps households, it's considered as a private money. The government doesn't have any role to play in it, and it can be used how the household. For instance, we can have remittances tax reduced, right? So we can have taxes placed on our remittances. They should be reduced. Then we can encourage the migrants in Accra or in the big cities. When they're remitting, they can have a public fund. They can send money into it where they are sure that it is reduced, the tax is reduced, and there are certain systems in place whereby such remittances can be used for some of the things back home, like irrigation systems and storage facilities and training of farmers on how to cope with climate change.
Edi wie no ye kan sisu dua se wiem abobren sakra ya momanfo etubata eba anafo ha sei no ye ade a ewo ho na ha dwene yie pa.
Samani boy CDKN NFA University of Ghana C3SSR wonya wo mo a e free Clear R41 Opportunities Fund ho ene de bremo.
Ene Salasia mu ene akowo adwamena twum and I tell woman, we Janyasam Ketua, or Christian the Kama, Yaboswam, what and
Yabako YouTube. No, my father, but now what you must.
O person who don't platform area that what we ascend the Sibia, the Biara, maybe Dabiane for radio no transfer, do a thing 106.3, betting same papa show, do a thing 106.3. Yeah,
your friend Yvonne Nelson, meet here at Adom Kasebo, Modiana Yeti.
You don't know Stone Boy talking is here, me as a man, Adom Kasebo in a Modiana Yeti.
Jim FM.
Ah, boy.
Today we are not asking some Dawson. If you see me TV, I see someone. Just Adom News.
Adom FM. It means, yeah. I mean that is it.
Benin, Cotonou, Adom FM. So you are far.
You know what time it is. This is your boy Sako. I endorse that now.
And yeah, I don't know.
Adom 106.3 FM so na watch mu nsam na edru so na watch mu ade ba ko ebeto dwa ene se Z9 ewiem shan kwanhia ekoso wo me de ho report ebeto monten na sa report no me de beto monten no panyina wone na gina mu ehwe ma bibia etimi koso ye friend captain retired infojo no panyina infojo bro be gina simpie ni apostle wo se asem na wie nyina da ene se wie mu nsakra ye na ntwa ye ene na bibi na besanka wie man nam so ti this kwansha no eba na asemi na West African Center for Counter Extremism panyini ba ko wo di ntintima pa ye ewo ho na na berema edutwu mo aba monten abeka sadia fa na ye ntie wo panyini mfodwo wo panyini mfodwo embro begina simpie ni apaso na wo kire mu de na so tia san kwansha ni si ensama wo de tudwa.
There was adverse weather, there was limited visibility, there was rising rugged terrain, where this terrain induced complicating factors, and there were no ground-based navigational aids en route. The investigation would like to say that from everything they gathered, the emergency response was very timely. The fact that the first responders managed to get to the site in about 2 hours was remarkable because the terrain has very steep slopes. It was raining. It was slippery. So it wasn't the easiest thing to do. When we went to the site, it was also raining and it was very slippery. And we struggled using sticks and everything to try to get up there. So looking at everything, we would say very confidently that the emergency response was very timely. The investigation determined that the accident was caused by the sudden loss of altitude and lift due to downdraft. This loss of altitude without change in power or pitch altitude is consistent with downdraft associated with changing environmental conditions over high terrain. In our findings also, we said there's limited national navigational capacity, a capability for en route and remote area weather services. We also looked at training and realized that the Air Force doesn't have much simulator training. We looked at flight monitoring and realized that there was no flight data monitoring also taking place.
Opanyine kotie nini Captain retired Paul Info na ate so den sama to jo mo ye hwemu no wono ne panyina no woda won wan no ene gya yese sansa fa de wode kire ade no kan 20 na rokwa wode ne kokko no mo so na so we de na dane abrobosam na asami enia ne na adutwum edi nkomo ene waso de no magugu nsane ne a na kyese wo hwe a wo man mu asrafo wiemhyan na e wo se etimi keka no ma bi bom de no ma bi tuatuamu hyehyehyehyemu na afa yetimi hwe wonu se begina na so peme yesanse se de no ma score na ntwaye
Omoa omunya adaje eye ba sonku a ye pa omo se omunye san hwehwemu no ye de aseda edin kan be ma omo ene edwumaso a omoaye obroni beka se this highlight ana say summation of their hwehwemu omo ye ni nyina na dia ye beka ne say generally enye the Ghana Air Force nkwana ehia retooling but say narrow to Ghana Air Force wa ene nkomodia akokoso any even from civil society angle yemwa yebeka se yedwumade no dodo na yedi efa bambo ho na ade no dia yenim ene dia ya kan fa ho se eba eye yen ewiemu asrafo omo hyen a omo didi dwuma no ehu behia se etese yedane neni na yetuminya ewiemu hyen ahoro a esafata sabre a yewomu even in terms of warfare. So I think that recommendations are omo ye no I think that I largely support it but
Opanyine kotie ni ye friend Nana Berma edutwu mo na West Africa Center for Counter Extremism we panyim power da no
na watwe mu na mampani John Dramani Mahama ene Temaport wakoko mission ye phase 1 phase 2 ene project no panifo ba be hyasie bibia de danda kwam kama na we Meridian Port Service and of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority and I just say ka bomu na mampani kirem say we win-win agreement win-win agreement we no enya fe na bia emfasodie no ebi bedi bia jabi mampani sem wode to dwa no ebinie.
The first terminal in the old ports, that was the first terminal MPS built. Today is wholly owned and operated by Gapoha. So Gapoha earns money from that berth in the old port. And so this has been a win-win partnership. I can understand that sometimes people try to play politics, especially when elections are coming up. I was accused of selling a port that did not exist. This port did not exist. How I could have sold it, I don't understand. But of course, it's an occupational hazard for those of us who choose to go into politics. Today, I'm proud that the biggest vessels in the world that enter the biggest ports in Dubai, in Los Angeles and everything come into Tema Port. And today, Tema Port is the preferred first stop for all ships coming to the Gulf Coast of Africa. And so all the big ships come into Tema Port, they lighten up, remove containers from here. And the good news is that from Tema Port, we have feeder vessels that take containers going to Monrovia, to Freetown, all the way to Dakar.
Mampani John Dramani Mahama ewie de kasa enu ochire mu se sa project wei ene genasi aban ne mpanimfo asie no yade e bebo man ne pa enti Ghana fo a mo kasa bebere no adabraka obia kana nuntum na won hwe kwan a sa project e befa ene economy no be pagam amna kosoro.
So today, as we gather to celebrate not only the commissioning of vital infrastructure, but also the realization of a bold national vision, that is a vision to transform Ghana into a logistics and maritime hub for West Africa, I wish to extend my hearty congratulations to the MPS partners, to GPHA, and the government and people of Ghana. On this day, I wish to honor the memory of the former shipping magnate Alhaji Asuma Banda, who for many years was chairman of Meridian Port Services and played a key role in the realization of the construction of this port. And as I said, I pay honor to the memory of Jifa Ativo also for the role that she played.
Mampani John Dramani Mahama na watchi mu enensemi wadi tuja.
Na watchi mu nsemi ne guso a yabe edema Adom 106.3 ene enu amasempa 94.7 insha 104.5. Na watchi mu Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama okopie mu asantema nkrokumase. No wakoye nkoko nketenketi project initiative eno wakopa awontema se wasa Ghana de hye mombra metie ensem den wode aba. Ni nyina da ene se nkoko nketenketi se ya yasi konkonti ba na onyini da ne aponkyerani. Enti nkoko nketenketi ye beye womo ebi tu nkosia ne ya ribi ya bi bon kwan ne ya bi bobo mu no kron babronya na bebe ye betwe no mpa ego bi keke Mampanyini pa wontema no se dwumadie na wode aba no wo hwe ni musu wo bi anta kyere se de bi betwe awie mu de esanse ba akofo nkyere damfo wo ye woso mani ni pa nke koba ne sai betimi aboa pa ama bibia koye.
The Nkokon Kitten Household and Backyard Poultry Production Initiative. This initiative is more than just a government intervention. It is a national movement, a courageous step towards restoring food self-sufficiency, strengthening household resilience, and fostering sustainable livelihoods for tens of thousands of Ghanaians, especially women, youth, and the vulnerable families across our country. The Nkokon Kitten initiative is a flagship element of the poultry industry revitalization program, which is a key part of our broader Feed Ghana program. The National Plan for Agricultural Transformation, Food Sovereignty, and Shared Prosperity. For too long, Ghana's poultry industry, which was once a lively contributor to rural incomes and national nutrition, has faced structural bottlenecks such as high feed costs, limited access to improved breeds, inadequate processing capacity, and over-reliance on imports. In 2023 alone, Ghana spent over $350 million importing poultry products, a drain on our foreign exchange and a missed opportunity for our farmers and entrepreneurs. We must and we will reverse this trend. The time has come for Ghana to reclaim the pride of producing, processing, and consuming what we ourselves grow.
Mampanyini na ate so wode nsama atudwa no wo kirema wo fadampam enkuko ya wo beba no wadende no kwa mpamanim ka ya bo wase emredu se wose etimi seseme wose etimi sakra mu ade mu enumode adet wey nanum ye ne de wo kire no kwa hwa beba no watwa no ba bia toto awe wo chaya kwa so ne gina machi Africans so na tie ye be dey ye mo kan kwa fo fadampam Mampanyini kirema a ye be ye de ni awe de na fe emone tali achibom ye be kan kosua na bosu chibom papa Ghana sano ni awe.
And so under the Feed Ghana program, the government is executing a three-pronged strategy to restore the poultry value chain from the household level to the commercial scale. The Poultry Farm to Table Project, Anchor Farmers and Ag Grower Support Scheme. This would have 50 anchor poultry farmers who have been carefully selected across the length and breadth of the country. Each of these 50 anchor farmers will receive 80,000 beds, housing, logistics, and technical support. These anchor farmers with 80,000 beds each, 50 of them are expected to produce 4 million beds. This will boost local feed demand and establish direct market connections between producers and processors. Now the next category. Through the Food Systems Resilience Program, we are supporting 500 small and medium-scale poultry farmers across all regions to produce 3 million beds, bridging the gap between the large-scale farmers and the community-based producers.
Any a quote ye Ghana man penny John Dramani Mahama Nate so what they some to Janko Conket and walk up pound man another. Who's a yes, Adam Penco Conesano. Hey, take a man penny one from my
company
in Cabwanket. In Cabwoman, I'm the no. Hey, Cabwanket and Kitinaja. What the body of Jack would you be away?
I know you could never another.
There is Sandy and the man Baron because I'm more
Monia can family.
I to whooping Tabwana. Ana ope a procungete.
Ebi Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo in there.
Oh, come on, get say me. Was Namna make
to come up was. There's a bag as
Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
I can't papa.
It is Scooby Doo with the uncle anyway.
Young Twaze, na young consent for Abusiana, watch him Munanu Quada ya November Bosome. Nida na to do me and Uberto, you said, Wax Sports Stadium, Beto, Ranjan Mabawa, walk up past Juma, and yes, Stampede. Stampede is see, Yame Beto, you say, Nipama Kun, Siatron, one Siadunum, a year a cover for Edinburgh Tuja, a catch a gun of when you say, 1 minute and no more Titia say, a big camp, say, and Nippadunum. And nipa doing such so be a Canadian, one more cassie should be a say a no crack, stampede in the sea and panemum, nipansia, and try on Seado.
I witnessed one. Yeah, and then as of now, the girl is always on my eyes, although I don't know her. Yeah, but I can see she's really out of breath. She's just trying to hold my neck, and I'm also suffering. They've tried pulling her out of the crowd, but it's not going. Behold, someone also pulled me. I don't know where their hand came from. I just thank God Almighty that I'm still alive. I was not there when they were rushing here, but I saw her when she was just about to lose her life. I can also do about it because I'm also suffering. It got to it, I don't know where my documents, my bags were. And now I feel like I'm also a dead person right now. Yeah, because what I saw in them too much. Yeah. That's it. I just don't want to talk about it. Anytime so I talk about it, I always see the girl in my eyes. I don't know. Although I don't know.
Enti wei aye mabunu bia ekọ ana anu kwada sa asra dwuma wakwa kopa bia ye ena ne yamanu boni prince wusudi nkoma de si potre wade tu dwana wo mu hwe no mu kirem se he no mu nim o no mu nim se nipa mpempem sa beba ei se mabunu padwuma ye eno so edo makafa ho nie.
What I want to say is this thing has been really be a headache to us. And then we are not expecting this number of people to be present here, but it seems like the youth, everyone is in need of this particular work. And then so far I was here around 11, that was 11 p.m. to now. They haven't yet attended to me. Yeah, so you can just imagine the kind of stress I've been through.
The kind of stress I've been through. And yeah, what the brofu could do so ja. As a muti, where I'm ranting any binono.
Young Koyan in the Aguswajana. Embra wo sem ni sie ne se bi muto ana nanom wonse du o se de adika mumma hono na bi su prepraye na prafo ni bi no mawofo ade nsem atudwa asasa bi wo mukotwa mu dua na so mo enya ntwa wo mu pieto nka wansam ho eti so mo ma na ekwa akope adwuma yesa asrafo na se empanyufo antimi anhwe se ye befo mo se ye fo mo no mapura de akakra gran de yefunu gia no wo me ebe ya nkomoma na wo mapura no awurade ado mo moto ma yemfa soja tade hye wo mo ai na fe wo mo konkoye wo madwuma na fe asumdwemra ente sade a ebe resengege ma me ba akokopie mo 37 military hospital mra wote se ne ba wapura no kopie mu ho wono na ne sentwofo twetwen komo.
It's really bad because I'm not mini and J umbi. Some sama me bana abedwan ne sa ade no. Cause minimi se oba ne say na ebe bisi. Si ama na hoden ne kom ne mu. Ontimi nya hwe. Se say no na obi enani ne de ne kasa ne ma papa. Nti okasa kra na ensi so ne kasa ne ma no ma. Oka we no aka we, oka we no aka we. Nti no onyanya ahoden a obetimi ede ehun se even ohun de esi yempo ohun de esi na se me amigina akran ontumi nka nkyere me se bia na ha anasa na ha ohun ba me so mo de ade ahye no kon ne nsa
nti wayi owofo a wemra wokwae no wokohu ne ba akrai free fie ne ho den wokwa na afi wokohu ne ba na kyese ne tebia mu na ye na no mo de atodwa so wedi o mo sere pass ye mo kwanfa mo sere be ya prafo ni nyina da ye bepa ba bi di o mafa na ja asra adwumadie ne o mo koye a enam so tri ko mo to anana no mo sere no matumi anya
ti e be sra ban no se owo mo bi obetumi di abo asafo ya man ye de ade sre de anan ye pesa ban ye no ene se oma prepra no nyame ya adom no mo hotom na se obesan resume a ye be se onye omomwa se de be ye omo nsem kodi se gidigidi ni mu
ade sre de na ye sre se nkura ni bebre prepra pa me ba award wo na mbe hu ye na chese me hu ebidie no kwa na me ba ne kwa de eye ebidie de enye kura nti ade sre de na ye sre ni se omo di date be ba nkura na omo prepra no ye sre omo nsa omo medi line ni mu biem fi sa kura wo prepra no ye nim se ne wato na ata ne woto
ene ayekoti ye ya wufo ni bia omo prepra ye na ate so omo de nsam atudwa no
we ya super weekend news na wotwe nsam awudu asisi ye ne ato ye bo ase ye bo akire kakrakra de amana ensam kro no mu ene awutu senya Easter batrompesua no so enkura nka ekopeso jadwuma mu kwan no na bi firi ho na bi firi ababa wa baako ene Priscilla Nyamalo wanya finhia no duonu mienu ene won ka atiasefo ho bio stampede si ye betodwa se ene CBG Kaswa branch bank no ehona no ye adwuma na wabere akofie je kopie mu wo ho ne maame na busuafo kasa ye ene maame ne kire mu se nukuranie na nani da so nyina ne ba no nani da so nyina ne ba no ne ba na kra se mekwa ba maame mekwa ba na me adom ne fa mi soja dwuma ene maame mehwe wo mehwe papa maame kire mu se watifie twan ne ba no te se BBS your system PDS ama chese enipa mi ensia atwana no wonsia do na watewa no se yewrade me bayika ho ana me bayinka ho nani empaibo de se fofia nto ateya ampani ampa ne nuane ampa betodwa se wono ankasa ne ba fe ne Priscilla wonya mfinhia duonu mienu ene stampede awrahoze mu asiye na waka ho bia ebo modne se ensa beka ne no na ene yabo ama munyina watibie na ene na tom dia atom yemo
Adiayemi kan osi you osi mama medu mi phone u frame me a usanka me si udum na me ntimi o osi o mama mebe fie ya friend line na anko ya friend na anko ewo mu na ebetom na boy bi faaye obisa me se ofri na oba eho mi so Africa aswa na ofri na osi mi jina so wonkasa da na me di phone to ho mi sa friend wamfa mi friend na wamfa kire na mi sa friend na ofa na osi ya obanu yari o oda 37 you see e na see ye o see o me ti wo background no say ye see yati anesu oi yati anesu and me see ye yo mi ba se sia yo afi mi frɛ phone na nko mi frɛ
nko muya pa so mekonim ti wei eye batan ema Priscilla wonya mfinhia duonu mienu a ene wokopa bibia bedi ene se ene mba ye de na mina owieye na Robert Kwame Nyamalo wono so ye ja na eja kire mu se ni nsu ni sini so atepa na wono de se de na nda so de no kurani ne nda so asa
yanko enim ne yakoye nim a na yegusu awo sansensem ya ehun no sofo be de kira wane na hwebambo ho sem so wo mai mu Ernest Brojajamfi wo mo kwasra awufuo ni bi awofu a wo moma sambiro mato anana mo nse do na nam so chi wo mo tia dankraya mu ehwo no mo de ba betu dwa kire mu sentifu no wapegyafo ho ewo mo so wo moma ne kode enya de wo mo betumi ababio na so abusua ne mo makwanya wo munyi nipa baako a wo mo ba no obesi wo madam na afa ya fa no wo sra adwuma ni mu
yesi eninti ama enkrande no a ye no mampani ama ya twen asen se de be ya ye de enhyehyeye beto akwan mu na bibia sa ensan enkosibio ti mampani asoma ye se yemra na emfa metom anim se aban ebegina busua chi na enhyehyeye bia wo ho a ewo se ye na ye de sie ye de hyem ya hwe na ya ye ye toso mienu nso mampani se yemfa nto abusua se omo ho kan ya se bi na omo pese onko omo hye soja atade omo afiri mu no abusua ne mpe omo anan sini na yemfa omo enko soja no mampani na ama me kwan se yemfa nto abusua nanim enti ye no ye bema aban krachipani o wa ha ene mpanifo a ewo region num ene mo anya nkita na abusua na ginam so wonua bi wo ho se abusua beyi obi a obetimi akosoja no na wasi nanan eno so ye de ho hyehye ebeto eho afedi atwato
Opanyine kotie ni wo sofo be de choro bambo ho nsem so wo mai mu Ernest Broja Jamfi
na watwe ya mu ne beto odwase ababa wa ye fe no Felicia obene wa ene ono an kasa ko Agogo Presbyterian Hospital ene asante atem no fa bato mpasua no so asantementem ekwa wo fa ne ho fa ne ba ne beto odwase ne bai e wa yirai ene ba na yira ene Felicia so osum esun ye ni afedi beto odwa sa kwada bobo nsan pabofo bi fa no ene Felicia Felicia obini wa hu ne ba no ene anigisem oh chese na ni agea wi edi ase da PSC koma Adom kase Adom TV Adom FM sane ba ene yeso mu bo ho dawura bo mu gon bo mu ma nei ene bibia toto ye ne santi ase da PSC ene wade koma Adom kase na sade ekoye emu nkomodie emu nsam ene kwabena boni no hwehwa wo hu kwabena boguso hwehwa ne no nyankopon ebo mo wakwan saa so ni nyina mu no Felicia obini wa ase Adom kase wadamwasi nyame nhyira mo
Emissions me beda ha no sino mo de omo wone panie ti le twene da na afen so na hwe ha no musie no asa me hwe na ye ono na de onse okọ na mo ne na so enso de ne ba do abone na so nti se one study dia hu se akwala na ba me na me wo ne die me hu ni se me ba na make a shadow TV for us na kupon show mo papa no ma shiro mo bi na kupon show mo na ma o mutu ye ne asende omo anyi mo mo abo ame ya nti de make us na mi shira wo mo ne Ghana phone na kupon shira wo de make us about phone na so mo share of omo show me ye pa na unni uko ba bi na se unni bi a emfa obama because me ni pana me ni so me se no be ya na kamen fa pa emma na
Wei Felicia obene wa na de aseda piesie ekwa ma Adom kase se ene nukurani ne bayira ya ode beto yenim ye bo mu a ene otwedi ampon kwa mbase ya do madawroma ne ba no wahunu aseda piesie ene ode ma Adom kase
messages ni bi wo ha Facebook for twuma ne
enko ma me fantwum na African be hwe na chese watoto bibia fine na akumi opani ye fra no nana edin a wode ba nana wose nyame Adom a eneya wade tap connect wade besandi iska na o kirem say wokọ amarone a afofra aba wo me sandi iska no tap connect
your friend say
nana enti nana say say de edem wo ho
nana me pebo
oh mejina na di say no onim say omo wa amono no nyina mejini di say no omo wa amono no nyina de tap connect na sandi ska ba fie enti mo amono no eno ana mo fa nana say anwumre wo twa bi atum bo se beba correct wa hu oh me se me yeshu ade na munyina ebusa me yeshu yi
oh
ana munyina na ni
oh there be so na woka
me na meka na na so the tap connect na send the aba enti e beba
enti won fan send
oh yes
bi abeka messages na no ane nana de no
Mr. Kodwamo so wachia wo Mr. Kodwamo se wachia papa na wose blue no opibiase
blue no blue they say kwakuti na pam yo kwakuti
yeah
ai wasade foforo ba
asa
ai wasade foforo ba say na me she blue shoe no
e say nda bi ana say gamshin shoe so shawo
gamshin shoe and ma she blue
yeah
na hwe matade blue
yeah
ai ye ni agro kroma
aka watch na ye blue anaka
gamshin bebre me blue watch ai wow blue watches of brother fe ye ko any shine be my so
fatu bi tuma na
fine ready
na ensia to ba ku bi aba nsia to ba ko bia ma mehwe mprapra kire sesia na akɔhye ehyen wase happy birthday enkoma Ibrahim Zinab Ibrahim Zinab we school ni ewo College of Nursing and Midwifery Tanoso enawo RM1 class enawo especially happy birthday enkoma efri Michael ene wadofo ho nyina wankasa suitat wo mu nyina nakeka bomu a wo mu ede Mount Ibrahim special happy birthday enkoma wai nyankopon hyiraw to nkwanam